Hello. Well, it's the Friday the 19th of June 2020. Been in lockdown for the last 3 months, and this is my first trip out back since January. I've come out to climb around Alport Castles up in the Peak District. I've parked at the Upper Derwent Reservoir, and yeah, 3 months of not much exercise, recovering from the coronavirus itself, which I got back literally the weekend before lockdown. So yeah, just thought I'd get out and enjoy being outside again. That's the Upper Derwent Reservoir. I came from Fairholmes, which is the car park with all the facilities, toilets and cafe, well, takeout bar. It wasn't too busy today. I was expecting it to be busier, but thankfully it looks like the crowds aren't swarming only at the weekends. I don't think that gets much use these days. First views of Alport Castles. It's a bit windy, but it's alright. Okay, so maybe I've missed it quite a bit. It is lovely to be back out. heading down from Alport Castle. Yeah, it's been really windy on top. Couldn't really do much filming, certainly couldn't do any speaking because of the wind, but it's absolutely spectacular and an area I think I will return to in the future. Just come down from up there, around down here, around that path. There's some craggy rocks up there. And then I'm headed this way towards Alport Farm. Bit of mist hanging in the above the woodlands. There we go. There's the tower in the centre of the shot right now, and looking up towards the cliffs where I was not that long ago. So I've reached Alport Castles farm, a little spot in a beautiful valley. I imagine it gets pretty cut off in the winter though. That's the tower that you can see in the middle of the shot. Let's see if we can zoom in, and you can see it properly there. Okay, so heading along the track from Alport Castles farm. The weather's managed to hold off. I had one shower, but it wasn't too bad. It was when I was up on the top, so I'm not really surprised. The wind up there was pretty strong, and it was a bit overwhelming at times, to be perfectly honest. But once I got out the breeze, then I got some cracking views. Just stopped for a break, headed down towards Alport Castles farm, and I had a sheep come down, and kind of got a bit pushy, gave her some food, and she went away. So just had a strange dinner date with a sheep. first hike out, any real climbs involved. I feel I've done pretty well. I've not been doing a huge amount of fitness training whilst I've been in lockdown. However, I have done a few miles here and there, a couple of 2, 3, 4 times a week, and then last few weeks I've been out on my bike a few times, and I'm starting to feel the benefits of using the bike. I think climbing was relatively easy, certainly descending down into the valley has been no problem at all. A few moans in my knees, but nothing new there then. But yeah, it's been a really nice day. Today isn't the biggest walk, but it's just nice to get out and be certainly up in the Peak District. So I'm just reaching, well, part way down the track from Alport Castles farm, and what a view! So we've got a ford and a footbridge. Saves me getting my feet wet. Well, it will do in a minute when I go over to it. Appears to be some sort of water processing. Not quite sure what it's for, but I'm assuming it's irrigation or flood control maybe. Could even be water processing, I don't know. Right, time to head on. Well, there's the road bridge which I just crossed over. Walked along that track that you can see there. Hidden in there is the footbridge, and then up here. And now I'm heading up this valley. Lovely. So I started at Upper Derwent and then eventually went up to Alport Castles, down to Alport Farm, down to Alport Bridge, and I'm headed back towards the Upper Derwent. Well, this is Rowley's Bridge, and as you can see, the water system, or the irrigation system, seems to head along the side of the valley. Looks like it's been here quite a while, and I get to walk alongside it for a bit. So, I seem to be walking above the irrigation system now. Finally worked out what it is. Suddenly dawned on me, not the brightest spark in the book, but not far from Derwent to Lady Bower Reservoir, Upper Derwent Reservoir. So I think the clue is the reservoirs. Okay, so the irrigation channel's somewhere up on the hillside to my right, and I'm now walking through this woodland. I'm now heading towards the footbridge that leads over to Hagg Farm, and then from there I'll go back up over the top, and then down back to Fairholmes Visitor Centre to collect my car. I've enjoyed today's walk, it's done me the world of good. I'm actually fitter than I thought I was. The bits of walking and the cycling I've been doing have paid off, and I need to make sure that I carry on with that with that sort of thing. So yeah, I say this is the first day hike video that that I'm doing, and hopefully I'll get a few more done this year. I am hoping, if we're allowed to officially wild camp coming up in the next few weeks going into July, that I might actually be able to get back out on trail. If the Welsh border's open, I'm considering the Offers Dyke path, which is something I fancy. Just a week on there and see how far I can get. I expect to do about half of it, and then failing that, I've also got in mind a Lake District ridge walk route. And the plan is to spend multiple days up on the ridges and travel from one end of the lakes, namely Keswick, all the way down to Ambleside, and try not to break my wrist, ankle even. Oh, keep doing that, keep hurting my ankles, not paying attention. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm hoping to either do the Offers Dyke or go up to Lake District and do some ridge walking routes and spend multiple days up on the ridges, and just spend some social distancing time all to myself. Not that I'm not used to it. Heading through some really old pine wood. Looks like this has been here for quite a few years. It's quite dark, there's nothing alive underneath the actual trunks of the trees, but it's very calm and very still. I know a lot of people don't like this sort of woodland, but I think it's got its own charm as long as there's not too much of it. The worst I've seen of it is in the Kielder Forest, where they're currently harvesting, or they were when I passed through there a few years ago, and well, they turned the Pennine Way into an absolute mud bath. It was horrendous, but whilst it's growing, whilst it's nice, we'll take advantage of it. Okay, so I'm about to cross back over the river and then head out towards Hagg Farm. This is Hagg Farm Bridge, I think. Probably wrong. I'm normally pretty rubbish with remembering a lot of the names, but yeah. Well, this is the track up from Hagg Farm. It's a bit of a beast, especially on the end or the last part of your hike. Looks like the rain's inbound as well, so hopefully I'll just about make it back to the car before it gets me. So I've had a brilliant day, or afternoon and evening, and yeah, more in a bit. Okay, so this is the track that rejoins where I originally split off to head up towards Alport Castles. You have to be careful here. There's loads of paths going off in different places, so make sure if you are doing this route to make sure you check your map and don't take a wrong turn. Easily done on this crossroads. There's paths all over the place. So not far to go now. Hopefully all downhill as well. Well, once I get to the top of this bit. Heading back past the tractor I passed earlier. Looks like someone else has taken a look too. Okay, so now turning back down towards Fairholmes, back down the valley that I came up earlier. So clouds are starting to draw in a bit and you can feel moisture in the air, so I think it'll rain sooner than later. So I've had a few sneaky peeks of reservoirs today, but nothing particular. Bit of a shame, it would have been nice to see some water, but it's been nice walking in the woods and up on the tops and then back down in the valley, so can't complain.